All right, we're going to go over assembling the basketball hoop, the basketball game, and you can see all the 6 parts fit together like so. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over to my Part Studio, create an assembly. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the court. I'm going to left click and left click. Now, the first thing you should do once it's in there is make sure it doesn't move around. So that means you're going to fix it. You can do that by right clicking and fix. It just means it's not going to move. From here, I'm going to put in the hoop stand. The only command I should need to use is this fasten mate. So with fasten mate, you got to remember that wherever you click, so I want this to not touch this. I want it to touch the bottom. And this thing is round, so it doesn't really matter what orientation it's in. So hit the green check mark. All right, let's go back and insert. Let's see, the next thing would be the hoop. Gotta fasten the hoop on. I want the top of this to be on the top of this. And it's already in the right orientation, but I could spin it around. I could flip it. The backboard. Backboard's a little tricky. Let's put that in. Again, it's in the right orientation already, which is helpful. You got to think about how this sits in here. So I'm going to take this corner right here for an example. Okay, so it selects the midpoint corner. Okay. And that sits, it touches this line right here. And if I gotta make sure I select the same midpoint. And it should sit in there just right. All right, base and shooter are next. So let's bring in the base. I'll bring in the shooter too at the same time, if I can. There it is. All right, so the base is backwards. So the larger part should be facing the front. So we'll keep that in mind. I'm still going to use fasten. I want the back edge centered on this fillet line. So that is going to go to that midpoint right there. Okay, now it's not orientated right, but I can rotate it around. Oh, I'm rotating on the Z. So I don't want to rotate on the Z. So let's actually cancel that. And let's try that again. I will openly admit that the assembly part of Onshape is not I'm not a fan. All right, so that's probably why I had that edge highlighted. I'm going to try this one. So it still did that. And now I can I'm rotating on that other axis. So I don't want that either. Okay, let's try a different surface. Let's try underneath here. There we go. Now I can spin it. There we go. Third time was the charm, I guess. So now that is on there. And my shooter, again, there's no top or bottom to this. So I can just select one of these holes. And that goes into this hole right here. And I'll spin it around. And that looks good. We should have our assembly complete.